Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this Megan Thee Stallion inspired cowgirl costume. Stay tuned. Okay, so first you want to always start off by sanitizing your workstation. So starting with the cowgirl hat, I just have this glittery silver material that my client chose, as well as this sheet of real diamonds that I decided to put underneath the hat.
Hey, know me from the closet. Trying to call me a snake. Guess I can relate, cause a bit a whole lot of venom. And since these.
So here I just cut enough material that could cover the top of the hat, and I was just using E6000 glue to glue the material on top of the hat. Now I didn't like this E6000 glue because it was for indoor and outdoor instead of materials. So later on in this video you'll see that I do switch glue. So because the top of the hat has such a funny shape, I did have to cut 4 seams and just fold the seams inside of itself so you don't see it. I didn't really like that at the moment, but it does look better once I add the diamond trim around it. The only reason I didn't like this E6000 glue is because it wasn't sticking as well as you could see the glue through the material, but once it dried you couldn't tell. So moving on to the brim of the hat, so what I did was sit the hat on top of the material and just cut a circle, and I just left at least a ½ inch of extra material so I can fold it under and you don't see any seams on the bottom of the hat. I also cut an X in the middle of the material so I can fit it on top of the hat, and then I just cut off the excess and glued it down with the E6000 glue. And once I got that down, I just cut off the excess. I left a little bit of material left just so I can fold it over, as you see me doing right here, and gluing the material down on the bottom of the hat. So here I'm just measuring the diamond material and cutting a circle. This was really hard to cut because it was so thick, but I finally got it. So I'm just making sure I don't have any rough edges and then measuring the bottom of the hat. So I had to use a box cutter to cut an X in the middle of the material just to cut out the hole. That was pretty hard to do as well, but we got it done. So for the diamonds, I just used a hot glue gun because I felt like that was going to stick better. That diamond material was so heavy. So moving on to the bra, I did buy this bra off of Amazon, and then what I'm doing here is just measuring the size of the straps as well as the cups, and then I'm going to eventually sew the material onto the straps, and then I'm going to glue the material onto the cups.
You know, Lil Ju made it.
I'm so glad that I did decide to sew the material onto the straps before I glue the material onto the cups because it looked more seamless that way. So I'm just breaking out my sewing machine, and I always clean it and sanitize it before I use it. So here I'm just pinning the material onto the straps, and then I'm just going to do 1 stitch on each side. With this material, I made sure I did stretch it out when I was sewing it, so when she does put the bra on, the stitches don't pop. So I just decided to use a straight stitch. I wanted to use a zigzag stitch, but the zigzag stitch would have looked more thick and not as clean, so the straight stitch looked better. So I did glue a little strip of material onto the middle part of the boning that's in between the 2 cups, and then I glued the material onto the cups. I did just fold the material underneath so it does look seamless, and here I just decided to get the diamond material and glue the little triangle onto each cup. I love that because it looked so classy and it did match the hat, so I was really excited about this.
Give it up. I'll be cool on the bitch bitch ain't no fresh. Till I met this little freak and they mad. This little thing here style. Look how she walk. Look how she talk. She sexy. I like when they pretty and ghetto.
So day 2, I started with the chap pants. So I had to make my own pattern. So what I did was I grabbed a new pair of leggings that I already owned, and I used this paper I actually got from Home Depot. It's like for painters to cover your floor, and I just drew an outline of the leggings and then cut off where the chap pants curve from the inner thigh up to the hip. I did continue to check my client's measurements just to be sure that the pattern was perfect to her leg. So I wanted the outside of the leggings to be seamless, so I decided to fold the material inside out and only cut in the inside so the seam would be on the inside of the leg and not on the outside. So I just cut out the right leg and the left leg. As you can see, I'm still checking my measurements to make sure that everything's perfect. So when making your own pattern, I did try this pattern on a different material and tried it on my own leg to see if I needed to make any changes. The only thing I had to do was extend the strap that goes up the hip. So that'll be helpful if you guys are doing this for the first time, as I was.
I'm on that cash shit. I'm in my bag, bitch.
So for the top opening of the chap pants, I just made a hem all the way around so that can also look seamless.
Oh, you want simple shit? Ay, you say you all about money. Yeah, I'm on that cash shit.
So here comes the tedious part that I do not like. So unfortunately, I don't have a sewing machine that automatically cuts off the trim, so I have to do that by hand. It's very tedious, but you have to do it. So here comes my favorite part. So here's where I start piecing everything on my mannequin to see how everything is coming along. So I'm just measuring the strips on the side of the chap pants and see how long they need to hang. So that diamond belt I actually got from Forever 21. I thought that was a great addition and it matched the bra and the hat perfectly. So here I'm moving on to the booty shorts. I had to make my own pattern as well for these boy shorts, so I grabbed a pair of shorts that I felt like looked similar to what I wanted and just measured, drew it on the paper. I needed to use a lining for these shorts because the glittery material was see-through, so I had to cut 8 pieces, 4 for the lining and 4 for the glitter material. I decided to cut the lining first just to make sure that I was sewing everything correctly and then used my material. You don't want to do trial and error on your good material, so always try on something else first. So I went ahead and sewed the lining material together, and then I cut out the glitter material and I sewed that together as well. And then later on I will connect the lining with the glitter material. I completely stitched the inside and the outside of the shorts together by the waistline, and I decided to add an elastic band so the shorts don't slide down. So you'll see me measuring an elastic band to her waist measurements. I then sew the elastic band together, stick it in the inside of the shorts. To keep the elastic band in place, I just made a 1-inch stitch on each hip in the middle of the seam, so it's invisible. And because she wanted these shorts to be more of a boy short, I did cut the white material really short. I didn't make a hem because I didn't want the bottom of the shorts to look bulky, and I just made a clean hem on the bottom of the glittery material, and there you have it. So here is the finished look. So here we are. I am absolutely obsessed with this look. I love the way the hat turned out. I did eventually go out and find this diamond fringe. They didn't have enough to go all the way around the hat, so I decided to put it in the front and in the back, and I just think that looks so different. Here's the bra. I love the shimmer and the diamonds. So this outfit was for my girl Elena. It was for her birthday party. She had a cowgirl themed party and she wanted this Megan Thee Stallion inspired outfit. So I love the way this turned out. So if you guys know how to sew or just wanted to make something similar to this, I hope this video helped. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.